For a motorcycle that's 20 years older than me, the Busa is still one of the fastest motorcycles. We got ourselves a custom one. This isn't my bike. A good friend of mine just let me borrow it, which was pretty cool. Fully custom. Needs some new tires, but you know, that's life. Got a full exhaust. Brake calipers are underslung, which is pretty cool. It's such an interesting motorcycle because it's one of the fastest bikes I've ever ridden. It feels so weird riding this big machine because when you're actually riding it, it doesn't feel as heavy. 1300 cc's, man, this ain't no joke. Gen 1. Let's get a first start, get things going. Got the old school analog dash, and this bike got 36,000 miles on it. Clutch in. Oof. Of course, I parked on the hill. Go ahead and do a little counter steer, turn around right quick. You know, for a bike that's 20 years old, it still runs incredible. It still rides just as good as any other new motorcycle. Now, the one thing about this bike is that the throttle feels a little twitchy when you really get on it. But when you're going normal speeds, it feels just fine. It feels like a pretty normal bike. But I'm also surprised how easy it is to lean over. I mean, it feels very light for a 1300cc motorcycle. And for this to be a 2006, Suzuki's engineering is just next level. I mean, they are really good at making these motorcycles. Oh my. Oh. Little slide action. Oh, the brakes on this bike are incredible. Dude, when you're going 100 on this thing, it doesn't even feel like it. Whoa. Wow. Those downshifts are heavenly. And now I see why so many people say that you can start on a Suzuki Hayabusa, because the throttle is actually very light. Like if you want to get on it, ooh, you can. But when you're just chilling at this speed, you know, going 60 miles per hour, it doesn't feel too bad. Wow. Now this bike, compared to my Gixxer 750, it definitely takes a little getting used to, because this clutch engages pretty quick. So once it's engaged, the bike kind of just goes forward super fast. Oh my. Wow. And I love how the paint just glows in the sunlight. These bikes are so customizable. Everybody kind of just does their own thing taste-wise with these motorcycles. And do I think a beginner should start on this? It can be done. It definitely can. but it'll be terrifying if nobody is there to walk you through actually learning the motorcycle. And it's like you start on this bike as a beginner, and funny enough, I think you can, but the issues you're going to have is the psychological part with being a beginner on this bike, because it's so massive and big. You're going to be really intimidated by it, and that might be the reason why you make some mistakes. That old man was looking at this bike like, yeah, I like that. As far as the riding position, I feel like I'm in an aggressive sport bike position, obviously, but at the same time, it kind of feels like I'm on a naked bike. I've been riding this bike for about an hour now, and I don't feel any strain on my lower back at all, which is very interesting. And I see why a lot of older people ride this bike, because you get to ride a sport bike without having to be too aggressive like you are on a 636 or a Yamaha R1. This, I mean, it just feels like you're just sitting back enjoying the ride. Wow, I am blown away by this. And the sound. Oh, the sound. What a beautiful sound. As y'all can see, throwing this bike around into the corners ain't no problem. Oh, wow. Whoa. Oh, that rush is crazy. The fact that you can be on this bike going 100 and easily hit 189, 200 miles per hour is insane. And with her having 36,000 miles, it's so interesting because she definitely has plenty of life left. People put 50,000 to 100,000 miles on these bikes, man. And even though the clutch and throttle felt a little strange getting on the bike, after a while you kind of start to get used to it. Just like any other motorcycle, of course. I mean, man, the clutch is so butter smooth. Not to mention on a Busa, you just feel so cool knowing that you can beat anything damn near on the street. Now, as far as the main competition for this bike is going to be your Ninja H2, ZX14, bikes like that. But then also keep in mind it depends on how good the rider is. You probably can smoke somebody on this bike if you're a better rider than the rider riding this bike. But for somebody who knows what they're doing, shit. Wow. I can honestly say I see what all the hype is now officially on this bike. I mean, what a ride. Wow. Doesn't that look good next to the porch? Gee whiz. So overall, this motorcycle is just ridiculous. I mean, what a fun ride. Suzuki did their thing when they built this. One of the best bikes I've ever ridden. I love the colorway, funny enough. And when you see it in person, it really pops, but you got to see it in person. Whoever the previous owner is who built this, I mean, they did a damn good job. I mean, hell, if somebody's putting that color on a Porsche, they did a good job.